A woman was strolling in her ex-husband's house, but she was attracted by a strange golden tower. She picked up the golden tower and checked it, but accidentally triggered the mechanism inside, and she didn't notice it at all. A metal bee was released. At this time, she happened to see her ex-husband downstairs and put the golden tower back on the table. She successfully got her ancestral ring back from her ex-husband's hand. When she was in a hurry to leave, she accidentally hit the table. The metal bee just fell out of the golden tower, and it happened to roll down and fall in her bag. In this way, the woman unknowingly took the metal bee and left her ex-husband's house and came to her fiance's house. When she just put her hand into the bag and was about to take out the ancestral ring, her hand was folded by the bee in the bag, but she didn't take it to heart. She carelessly put her hand into the bag again and took out the ancestral ring to show off to her fiance. However, when she turned around to change clothes, her fingers accidentally changed. When a woman changed into a wedding dress to meet her bride, she suddenly felt that her fingers were getting colder and colder, so she reached out to let them help her see what was going on. As a result, the three of them touched her fingers for a moment, and a mysterious power secretly passed on. The three of them immediately became very humble, and Amanda became slightly shy. Amanda was feeling inexplicable, and the three big wolves happened to walk over to her, and the moment they hugged and blessed her, that mysterious power also passed on to them. At that moment, they became emotional, just like treating the queen. They closed their eyes and closed their eyes. The emotional giant came to Amanda and began to be warm to Amanda. Amanda's ex-husband Xiao Shuai rushed over in a hurry, saying that he had an urgent matter to talk to Amanda, but when he saw the two of them, he felt inconvenient to say in public that he wanted to take Amanda to a place where there were few people, but he found that the 6 people seemed to be Amanda's bodyguards, and he followed them behind them inexplicably. At this time, Amanda suddenly saw the mother-in-law walking over. She was worried that once the mother-in-law in the gallery was tired, she would quickly turn around and ask the 6 people behind her to keep an eye on the mother-in-law in any way possible, as long as she didn't let the mother-in-law find her. What she didn't expect was that the 6 people walked forward as if they had received an imperial edict, and without saying a word, they grabbed Amanda's mother-in-law and carried them directly into the room. And when Amanda asked Xiao Shuai about the two of them, Xiao Shuai not only kept it a secret and refused to tell the truth, but also wanted to check her bag inexplicably. Amanda thought Xiao Shuai was here to ruin her marriage, but Xiao Shuai found a metal bee in her bag. Not only did he really find a metal bee, but he also put a spark in the bag. Amanda realized that he had misunderstood Xiao Shuai, and when he left Xiao Shuai alone to apologize, Amanda's fiancé suddenly walked into the room and said that he couldn't find his parents. Amanda had to leave in a hurry and say goodbye to Xiao Shuai. When she accompanied her fiancé to find the missing mother-in-law, some of the secrets she told her fiancé happened to be heard by the accompanying group on the 2nd floor. The accompanying group, which had followed Amanda's orders, took their conversation as an order to leave. They began to block the building and didn't let anyone leave. Xiao Shuai, who hadn't had time to leave, happened to meet several accomplices who blocked the building and was caught inexplicably on the spot. Xiao Shuai learned that they were executing Amanda's orders and immediately realized that something was wrong and hurriedly threw those brainless accompanying groups into a room to hide. But he found that Amanda was just in the room. Amanda had long felt that there was something wrong with Xiao Shuai's department and had been doing mysterious things all day. Now she saw that her wedding was going to be ruined by them and asked Xiao Shuai angrily what was going on. Xiao Shuai saw that things had developed to this point and had no choice but to tell the truth. The department they work in is called Warehouse Number 13, which contains mysterious objects with supernatural powers. His and Xiaoman's job is to go all over the world to collect those supernatural objects and seal them in the warehouse. And this morning, Xiaoman just brought the golden tower back from Dubai. Due to the continuous flight of more than 20 hours, she did not directly send the golden tower to Warehouse No. 13, which caused Amanda to accidentally trigger the mechanism inside and accidentally release the bees inside. It just fell in her bag and was brought here. As for the golden tower and the bees inside, what kind of super duper power do they have? Xiao Shuai and Amanda don't know much about it at the moment. They only know that it is an object that fell from Warehouse Number 2 to the common people. It must be extraordinary. At this time, Adi had already found the information about the golden tower. It turned out that she was an Egyptian female pharaoh. She made it with the information of bees. The female pharaoh let the bees sting her own body. When the bees sting into the body, it will produce pheromones. Those who come into contact with her will immediately turn into bees, unconditionally fulfill all the requirements of the queen and protect her, and even dedicate everything to her like a slave. Xiaoman learned that there was a bee stinger on the bee. She immediately realized that something was wrong. She hurriedly took out the metal bee and took a look. As expected, she found that the bee stinger on it was gone. So there's only one possibility now. The bee stinger must have stayed in Amanda's body. But Xiao Shuai and Amanda checked Amanda's fingers, but they didn't find the end of the bee stinger. Adi thinks the bee stinger may be in Amanda's body because she needs to pass through Amanda's body to secrete the information of the slaves. So how can we find a bee stinger? Xiao Shuai came up with a wonderful idea. Go to the hospital and take a picture with X-ray to find the location of the bee stinger. So he smashed the bee stinger in front of the door with a vase. When he went to the wedding hall, he saw those slaves were crazy smashing the bottles on the table. He didn't know what they were doing. Suddenly, there was a call for help from Jack, his fiancé. They hurriedly came over to take a look. But just when Jack was stung by the bee stinger, Amanda immediately ordered them to stop with the identity of the female slave. As a result, she found that her order didn't work at all. So she asked Jack to lift her up without hesitation. Then they tied Jack's hands and feet tightly to the table. They didn't know what to do with Jack. Xiaoman hurriedly asked Adi for help. Adi thinks Amanda's order doesn't work because Jack is Amanda's future husband. If they get married, Jack may replace Amanda as Pharaoh. So, in order to protect Amanda, they will definitely make Jack alive. Suddenly, a maid raised a knife. Everyone saw it and didn't dare to stand by. Immediately stopped them from doing anything wrong. Xiao Shuai knows that his strength is not as good as Xiaoman's. He rushed up and fought with 3 maids, and as a special force soldier, Xiaoman is naturally good at martial arts. After Adi quickly knocked down a few maids in the afternoon, he finally found a way to get the bee stinger. Let him put the bee stinger on Amanda's collarbone. Like using a magnet, he slowly sucked the bee stinger out. So under the cover of Xiao Shuai and Jack, he quickly followed Adi's instructions and put the bee stinger on Amanda's collarbone. After a while, the bee stinger was finally sucked out slowly from Amanda's body. And just when the bee stinger returned to the bee, the few maids who were hit immediately recovered. Then Xiaoman put the bee stinger in the pocket. The wedding can finally be held as scheduled. It's just that the groom's parents look a little embarrassed. Can a computer virus really infect humans? The woman was chatting with her boyfriend's video. Suddenly, a golden light shot out of the screen. When she looked directly into his eyes, the black girl suddenly felt uncomfortable in her eyes. When she covered her eyes and wanted to go to the bathroom to wash, a strange feeling suddenly appeared in the place where she stepped. Not long after, the black girl got a strange disease and was sent to the hospital for resuscitation. Her skin cracked like a crack in the ground. At this time, it was almost impossible to detect a pulse. The doctor immediately injected her with antibiotics, but he found that the skin of the black girl became extremely hard. Even the thick needles were torn. In order to restore the life of the woman, the doctor had to use a deodorant to clean the black girl's body. As a result, the deodorant was also dried up by her. Several such patients were admitted to the hospital within a week. They were all young and beautiful, women without exception, and in the end, they all died because they couldn't save them. This series of strange death events quickly aroused the attention of the 13th secret warehouse. They dissected the patient's internal organs, but they found that the blood and internal organs of these patients had all been strangely turned into a tumor. Adi realized that this might be a genetic disease, so he scanned the gene sequence. As expected, he found that the gene sequence of these patients does not belong to humans or any other life, but more like a gene sequence of a certain virus. At this time, Adi seemed to suddenly discover some rules. He copied the letters of those rules. After turning off the device that projected the gene sequence, there were only the letters copied by Adi left. On the whiteboard, everyone looked at it carefully. Where are these letters? It's obviously a second-level program code. It seems that those women were infected by the computer virus. But how could the computer virus infect humans? Could it be that it also involves a kind of supernatural art? It's being done in a way that science can't explain at the moment. So Adi and the doctor turned to the black girl's house. They searched everywhere for any suspicious objects. As a result, they turned the whole house upside down, but they still couldn't find anything related to art. At this time, Adi suddenly noticed the computer in the room. Since they were infected by the computer virus, could it be related to the computer they used? Adi found a repair shop sticker on the back of the monitor, so he immediately turned on his laptop. He began to check the credit card consumption records of those women. As expected, he found that they were all consuming in the shop. So who was spreading those computer viruses? The camera switched to this repair shop. The guy blacked out a woman's computer during work. He was about to admire the woman doing yoga. The shop manager just walked in and caught a clue. It's not difficult to find out from the conversation between the two. It's not the first time for the guy to do this kind of thing. So the shop manager forced the guy to leave on the spot, and the guy who was angry with the shop manager walked out of the shop. He was angry and went back to his car. Obviously, he was going to take revenge on the shop manager. At the same time, Adi came to this repair shop in a hurry. He asked the shop manager who was repairing the computer for those women. After the shop manager read the list given by Adi, he said that he had just fired that employee. Xiao Mo hurriedly took out a Tesla gun from his bag. He rushed out in the direction of the guy's departure.